Today we're going to work on an owl tutorial. The first thing is I found an owl shape on the internet that was a free template for an owl in a shape I like. You know, owls come in lots of different shapes. I folded it and then I placed 2 layers of fabric on a fold. Now you'll notice that I cut the owl a little bit larger than the template. And the other thing is I didn't use scissors. I didn't trace and use scissors. I was adventurous and I used a rotary cutter. So there is the owl. You will need a front and a back. And then the other thing is I picked a contrasting color for the pocket. It's funny how when it's opened up it kind of looks like a shield. So there is the owl, and then I picked a contrasting color in yellow. Now the thing is, you'll notice I made it way oversized, way bigger than I need to because I find it easier to trim down. Then I pressed a 1/4 inch down, I pressed another 1/4 inch down, and I'm going to sew it with the seam as close to this edge as I can. The next thing you're going to need is a piece of white and black and orange felt. Now this is Hobby Lobby's 33-cent felt. It's not expensive. I used a spool of thread and I traced it with a silver pencil because where you're going to run into problems is on the black pupil of the eye. And I freeform cut little triangles out of the felt for the beak. So I'm going to go ahead and sew my seam, cut out the eyes, and then I'm going to use a glue stick to glue base them in place. Then we'll return. You can see I have machine sewed. I used a straight stitch first for the white on the as it was glue basted to put it in place, and then I used a blanket stitch, and then I straight stitched in the center as well as the beak. I like the beak to be up and very close to touching the eye. Now, fun fact is you could put a button on this to cover the stitching and hand stitch it in. You can put a sequin. You could hand stitch all of this with fancy embroidery. You know, the options are totally up to you. You could also, at this point, put it together with your pocket the way you want, and then flipping over the right sides together, the back to the front, stitching about a 1/4 inch all the way around and leave a gap, and then stuff it with polyester fiber film. But I have lots of batting. Now I've shredded batting and stuffed owls before, but what I'm doing now is, you can tell, is I've double folded it, and I'm going to baste each piece of the front and back with a very large stitch, trying to get about 1/8 of an inch, and baste that batting together. Then I'm going to trim it very closely, and then I'm going to do exactly what I just said. I'm going to put the pocket on and then flip over the back to the front and stitch around. So when I come back, I will show you the finished softie owl with a cute little pocket that you could put money in for a gift, chapstick, maybe a tooth fairy pillow, whatever works. He's so cute. I used a rotary cutter to trim that down. I have the pocket, and I'm going to pin this all in place. And then when I'm back, I will show you the owl turned all the way around. I'm going to leave a gap right about here in the top. I find that flat place the best. And here is the owl, all sewn and turned. I checked the edges to make sure no basting threads were showing, and if they were, I pulled them. I used tweezers a little bit on the point of the tufts, and I used a stick to help turn it. Now I want mine to be a little more flat, but you could stuff it even more to give it a 3D dimension. And here's that pocket, perfect to put a pencil, chapstick, or a gift for those you love. I hope you enjoy the owl softie tutorial, And if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments below. Please like the tutorial and subscribe so you don't miss any future Our Creative Souls tutorial. My name is Vicki Holloway, and have a wonderful day.